Alright, we have remade the lobby. We're just waiting until both players are ready. Works for Lup1n now. Firebot said he'd need 1 minute. In the meantime, looking at the bracket, which you can see with exclamation bracket. Backstein has gone fourth in the winner bracket. The first battle, Gaia. Gaia is now against Minikiev in loser bracket round one's first match. And then now Backstein is going against Vigor in the first match of round 2. Now Fierce is waiting for his opponent from this match that we're about to cast between Firebot and Lup1n. And indeed, until both players are ready, we can start this match. It seems both players are ready. They are just having a bit of a warm-up here. Alright, here we go. We're having a matchup between Firebot and Lup1n, starting in Skybreak from Firebot's view, who also picked the map. Picks up red, picks up the pincer, misses sadly on Lup1n's angle there, right about the Megalift. Gets a rocket launcher as well. Looks around corners a bit passively. Did see Firebot over there. Picks up yellow. Now Mega's coming right up right now. It's a fight over Mega. Firebot will contest that against Lup1n, and he will pick it up. Lup1n now on red side. Get some very nasty shaft damage. Slow field V-ball will slightly cripple Firebot there, but with mediocre stack remaining, and Lup1n with very little remaining has to fall back. 5 seconds to red. I think Firebot might have heard the fake dash going the other direction, but Lup1n did a backstep with it and went back to the red. Firebot fell back to the Mega. Even yellow now. Firebot's nearly fully stacked. This is a rail. Lup1n notices yellow was also picked up. They're spawning roughly the same time with Mega. Red now controlled by Firebot. What that Firebot really needs to do is make a good push against Lup1n for a first frag. Firebot picking up Mega. Lup1n doing some shots past the pillars just to see where Firebot's exactly at. Smoke field. Wee ball goes in. Lup1n falls back on the yellow. 10 seconds to Mega here. Here's Firebot going around the behind the Mega. Doesn't hit any rockets though. Lup1n's at 100 HP, but pretty good armor. Get some pretty nice damage on Firebot after the Mega pickup. And a pretty good amount of damage with the shaft. Gets a couple rail shots. In fact, some shaft damage by Firebot and then a rail shot at him. So now he's at a 250 stack. Firebot, I'd say with that average Alphen armor, probably the same average stack. Lup1n now falling back to red, spawning in 3 seconds. Doesn't take it yet. Just to see for where Firebot would be, it would have gone for a push for damage perhaps. Firebot now taking yellow. Lup1n suspect he'd be there. It's just taking Mega as well. There is Firebot catching a rail. Lup1n catching some rocket damage. Firebot suspecting Lup1n might be sneaking around the corner. There's a shaft beam over there, but hits nothing. Lup1n hits very slightly. Some damage with the shaft over. Firebot comes after him with some shaft damage and a rail hit. Lup1n goes very low. Firebot secures the Mega. Lup1n only relying on health stack right now. Has to wait for 2 more seconds now for red, but will eventually concede it. He will go to the yellow instead. Firebot, or rather Lup1n noticing Firebot around there and even hearing him. I think Firebot also saw his robot arm around the corner. 3 seconds to Mega. I'm suspecting Firebot may be for the lookout for that. Yep, he's now nearly fully stacked. Needs to make a really big push here. But is instead looking out for that corner. He's pushing from the behind Mega to fall back to red. Lup1n still securing yellow armor. So far it has been a very passive game. Lup1n and Firebot both have done just mostly minor damage here and there. Just a couple close encounters have been, well, close quarter combats have been done, but not that many. And both Lup1n and Firebot seemingly have survived from all of that. Firebot now at a very promising stack. Could make for a push yet. Notices with a rocket that Lup1n is in there. Smoke screen goes in by Lup1n. There's some protective rockets and blaster shots from the other side of yellow. Red is his. Yellow is up. Has been up for some time. Firebot is just looking for Lup1n here because he couldn't just pick up yellow there. It's over 175 armor now. Lup1n waiting for blue for actually nothing because he's got over 150 armor, but at least that's something he could fall back into. Firebot now securing red. Going from the other side of the map. After Lup1n. 3 seconds to yellow. That is Firebot's call to push Lup1n back. Maybe even get a frag out of this. Lup1n is very low on stack. Firebot decides to stop the chase and just refill the armor with the red, and Lup1n on the other side with the yellow. Still what he needs is some health, and he hasn't gotten control over that mega health at all, in fact. Ooh, during this entire game, Firebot going in for a very aggressive chef push here. Smokescreen Weeball will save Lup1n's. And even decides to concede the armor, because that is something that easily get caught into if you just pick it up while your opponent is using the shaft. But still, Firebot, yeah, he couldn't even pick it up because it was over 175 armor, so Lup1n still secured it for himself. This is something to keep in mind for Lup1n here. A lot of damage from Firebot's side. Lup1n only has health to deal with here. Minor health pickups and armor shards will heal him back to 105 stack. Red is up, but Firebot's on a constant chase. Firebot picks up the red. Goes to the other side to chase Firebot. Sorry, chase Lup1n, in fact. And it's finally a frag for Firebot. The Mega hadn't spawned for ages. Firebot securing the Mega for himself. Lup1n pretty much 100 stack. And Firebot has been in a constant full stack this entire game. I mean, Lup1n had some pretty good control over red armor, but eventually gave it to Firebot as well. Now Firebot has both Mega and Heavy most of the time. Even now, Heavy is picked up by Firebot. Lup1n only relying on the blue and the yellow armors. Only thing he has for health is minor pickups if he gets damaged. Slowfield Weeball will slightly cripple Lup1n, but Firebot's also damaged quite a lot by his shaft. Lup1n's cornered over to the yellow, but he still gets a rocket hit on Firebot, which is enough to give him a frag as well. Now Lup1n slightly needs to fall back, especially after that Firebot red pickup, but that directed rocket will also make a number. Mega won't be spawning for the next 5 seconds. Firebot decides to peek around the corner and finally fade away from Mega. Now he's his. Mega is his, and then Lup1n picks up red. Now he's finally got control of some better armor here. 3 seconds to yellow. Firebot may be waiting in there. Lup1n suspects the same. And Firebot still hasn't even picked up the yellow. Oh yes, now he's coming out. One rail. Second will miss by Lup1n. Now I think Lup1n's at a pretty a bit more comfortable position. He still hasn't got control over Mega. That's in Firebot's control. Slowfield Weeball, however, will cripple him again. He's only got yellow to back himself up with and not much health. Now Lup1n tries to go for some extra damage here. Mega won't spawn for the next 15 seconds. But Lup1n has to use that platform to jump across the room. Blue is picked up. Red also picked up by Lup1n. Firebot only has health. Now has even yellow. Back himself up with. Firebot coming in from behind the red room. It's been a very hectic game, and just 1 minute to golden frag if either player does not score any more frags at this moment, or it keeps tying. Lup1n now very nicely armored. Firebot Very nicely buffed with health, but losing armor constantly to Lup1n's rockets here. Mega picked up by Lup1n, but slightly reduced by Firebot. Firebot coming up the yellow stairs, but is blocked by Lup1n's shaft there. Just fight over blue. Firebot both actually do very nice damage to each other. Yellow picked up by Lup1n now, only relying on the minor health, but now he's got perhaps control over Mega. 3 seconds. Oh, goes through the teleporter. Mega is up. Slowfield Weeball. I'm not sure if that's blocking the jump. No, it isn't. Firebot will get the Mega. Goes around the pillar and gets Lup1n down for a second frag, and the Firebot is in golden frag. Now he's got control over red as well. Lup1n falls back to yellow. That is, thankfully he got out of there just in the nick of time, because if he got cornered there, that would have been the match for Lup1n. In fact, now he's even lower thanks to that rocket on the teleporter exit and the shaft to finish it off. Firebot will take this match. And I can sort of see why it was his pick. This was Skybreak was his map pick. He controls the Mega and heavy side well. Lup1n was in a bit of an uncomfortable position, just only controlling yellow, maybe even the blue armor occasionally, but having no big health pickups to deal with. Now we're on our next map. Until both players are ready, we can continue the matchup here. Next map will be indeed Frontier, and this is another map that just has 2 blue armors, and 1 red, 1 Mega. Firebot, starting from his view, right next to the shaft and blue, second blue armor, Mega health. Pretty good starting stack to work with. Lup1n hasn't even picked up the red yet, and that will be Firebot's pick. Lup1n is having a very awkward start. First blue is still up. He could fall back to that one. But that is... Oh, actually, that is now picked up by Firebot. Yeah, now second blue is up. That is what he's falling back to. Instead, 3 seconds to red. Lup1, since I suspect he's looking around, yeah, finally picking up the red Firebot now on the Mega. Catches a bit of a rail from Lup1 there. Second wall by Lup1 will miss. First one by Firebot will hit. Second will miss. Firebot only has health to deal with, though. Lup1 can quickly restack some small health and armor with health pickup and blue. Slowfield Weeball will make Firebot not push too far. Gets a few rails anyway. Lup1 falls back on Mega. Firebot now has to get some armor at the very least, or just play a bit passively, get a few hits here and there on Lup1, but so that he could keep him at bay. Misses a rail but catches one from Lup1, gets a blue pickup, so he's now at 200 stack. This is shots on Lup1 there around the corner. Lup1 trying to go for a small chase here, at least for damage. Even gets a rail hit. Firebot gets a second in a row. Lup1 falls back on Mega. Firebot finally gets a red. Lup1 below and Firebot above. I'm not sure if Lup1 even knows where Firebot is at. There we go. They finally spot each other. Firebot has a Weeball. Gets a rail hit. Gets the red. It could be a push this time. There we go. Lup1 Try to go for damage. Firebot cannot even push anymore. He threw the slow field Weeble right there. Now he can finally push again. The rocket jumped a level higher than Lup1n. Lup1n with the smoke field Weeble. Suspects he would be on the other direction. Doesn't hit a shot, falls back to red. Round the corner, Lup1n and Firebot meet each other there. Firebot secures mega health for himself. Lup1n concedes it. Goes back to a blue armor. Gets quite a bit of damage to Firebot. Lup1n still very low on stack. About 75. Ooh, even lower than that now. Only health to deal with. And very little of that too. Firebot. Now very confident that he could get some push against Lup1n here, but Mega will spawn in 6 seconds. And Lup1n is pushing Firebot back from that. That is something that Lup1n has to fall back to if he wishes to get some stack, but Firebot will secure it for himself. Lup1n only gets a 50 and maybe a blue. Firebot constantly hears where Lup1n's walking around. Around the corner comes some shaft damage. Lup1n goes extremely low. Firebot spray will miss. Has to fall back to red. Get a good advantage over stack, and now indeed he does. Lup1n only at health. Next rail perhaps may not kill him, but may put him low. 70 damage could do a lot. But not barely kill him, but put him low. Ooh, that rocket by Lup1n on the Mega. Firebot gets the Mega once again, gets the heavy red. Misses the rail on the edge of the hole in the wall there. 10 seconds to both Mega and heavy. This just may give Lup1n some chance to get some damage on Firebot as well, but Firebot decides to fall back on Mega. Lup1n puts a smoke screen to the route to red, and Firebot will have to concede that. Both have pretty good stacks. Firebot still, I'd say that's averagely the same stack as Lup1n. Lup1n now. Actually, ooh, slightly reduced that stack as well with one rail. Second rail hit. Firebot hit one back as well. Firebot falling back on the red. Round the corner comes Lup1n. Catches some rocket damage, does a bit to Firebot as well. Makes Firebot just fall back a little bit with the slow field Weeble. You don't want to be caught in that. It's been picked up by Firebot. Lup1n now could go for a comfortable push here. Does some offensive rockets to the Mega area. Firebot picks it up, but still catches some damage. Round the corner comes Firebot with one splash, one direct hit rocket. Bit of shaft damage to follow it up. Lup1n catches the red, but is very low on health. Around the pillar, can't make much of an escape here. Firebot's chances right here, and that will be his first frag. That's Firebot now going into Mega. Lup1n tries to contest it a little bit with a bit of damage. Does manage to do a bit of that. Firebot tries to secure the other side to red there, picks it up as well. He's at very good control with both red and Mega. He's denied Mega several times from Lup1n now, and now he finally spots him through the smoke field but he's caught in the slow field, and that must be Lup1n at 1 HP. Still surviving, however, but he's only got a health for stack. Lup1n finally got a Mega, but he can only heal so much from it. Firebot. I think he slightly might have heard Lup1n still being over there. Very nice rail. Across the map pretty much. Second one will miss, but he catches one from Lup1n. Very nice. Rail, second one will miss. Catches the Mega once again. Secures most of the armors, in fact, and now Fireball turned to fake a rocket jump here. Lup1n waiting from above, catches nasty damage from the rail. He will only be on a health stack. He got a 50, and that is what made him survive that rocket. And Lup1n still at very low stack. Now he's just trying to sneak around, not being detected. While Firebot has good confidence in controlling both Mega and Red here. Lup1n still not too shabby on stack. Firebot going after him. Loses half of his armor though to Lup1n's damage. And now he's stuck again on that same gate pillar where he got fragged the first time as well. Now Firebot once again at perfect control over Red and Mega. And he's going after for third frag. Second frag, I'd say, in about more than 10 seconds. Still has control over Red. Mega will spawn in 8. Lup1n can only contest so much, especially against those rails by far. But even if he's hitting only one in a row, 70 damage will still do quite a bit to your stack. Lup1n at only at health, pretty much at 100 HP. Can't do much but to seek for Firebot and do some damage from afar. He does manage to get Red though. Firebot will have to concede that, but it will pick up blue to its minimum effect, but to prevent Firebot from Lup1n to having it. Mega picked up by Firebot. First blue as well. Lup1n now controlling the red. He could make a climb out of this, but he doesn't want to get fragged, especially now because Firebot is at golden frag. Lup1n catches a rail but still controls the red. Fireball falls back to the Mega. Lup1n comes from above, catches a second rail in a row. Third in a row, 80 damage done. Fourth. Firebot is finally on fire with these rails. He kept hitting only one, but now he's hitting several, and that will be his push for victory. Firebot. What an amazing control. That was indeed an incredible match. Firebot had pretty good accuracy with rail constantly and didn't do many like direct confrontation. Lup1n most of the time just had a bit of an unfortunate encounter, twice in fact, on the red. Just being caught in the pillar with such little HP that Firebot could just quickly steamroll him down. But that control and that pressure on the opponent was amazing. That is definitely Firebot's game. He will move over to face Fears in round 2. But the next game we will commentate will be between Backstein and Vigor on round 2. That will be the first game. And after that, we will view Fears and Firebot. So we'll be having a few minute break to get Backstein and Vigor ready, and until then we'll be right back.